bad feeling about this.
Hello there! Oh no! Hi! Oh, goodness gracious. Here we are. We're alive. Hi, everybody. We're going to be playing some Star Wars The Old Republic today. There's a good chance we're actually going to be listening to a podcast by the Escape Podcast, who gave us permission to re-stream it. It is an interview with the developers. JR, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I've been having a huge curiosity question this morning. It popped in my mind, and I was like, I really want to find the answer to this, but I think the answer is Swtorista. You're thinking way too much about this. So, I have this room. I'm used to playing from a closet, and I was able to give a lot of sound dampening. But here, I have a whole room to sound dampen, so I kind of want to focus my efforts on where it's most important. The way sound works is that when I'm talking to you guys, the sound moves from where it's coming from, but then it bounces. So it's technically even bouncing off my monitor, it's bouncing off the walls, it's bouncing off the ceiling, it's bouncing off the floor, something like that, yeah, I think. And the more bouncing there is, the less it feels like I'm like actually talking to you guys in the room, and it's definitely gotten worse since I moved. So I put up some sound panels. I have a green screen behind me, it helps a little bit, but I need to do some more. Working on the attic of the house that we're living in right now. Yeah, I have those little weird, I have little foam panels. I have that for sure. In my attic, we need to seal it so that little mices and rats and other critters aren't allowed in there anymore. And so you do that by filling in the holes. So you need to find these possibly not very visible places in the attic, and you spray foam in them. And the really fun way to find where those holes are is you pressurize your house by putting a plastic bag over your door frame, and then you make a fan suck the air out. So your air from your house and your attic will go out. It'll like leave. It'll be like goodbye. And one of the ways you can see those cracks is once you've done that, you've created that negative pressure in the house, you can use incense or a fog machine in your attic, and the fog and the smoke will go through the holes because it's trying to exit the house. So such a cool little stupid concept, right? And I was like, can you do that with sound? Is there a way, or is there like another material that could mimic sound? The answer is whoa. If you were able to find something like that, that would like revolutionize sound technology. So that's a little too complicated, but I got really excited about it. So I just wanted to know, is there anyone else in here who goes off on these random weird tangents and just really gets so incredibly curious about them and is just like Googling them furiously for like an hour to learn everything about it? Or is it just me? Has there been any topics you guys have been interested in that aren't gaming? Wednesday Carrie is like, absolutely. Yes, me. So hello everybody, nice to see you all. I'll stop obsessing about that now and come back to SWTOR. Yeah, you have to vacuum pack your house to find the mouse. No, not to find the mouse. Hopefully the mouse you just caught with the trap. It's just to find the air holes. You need to find the mouse's house's entryway. John's Noel is very nice and said happy solstice everyone. Happy very nice of you to wish such a nice wishing to everybody on YouTube and over to Twitch too. We're translating it over. Fish says, yeah, I get hyper focused about stuff. Not a basket case says all the time. Nelson says, hello there. Big capitals. Yes. Akiligan says, good luck on the fix. Not a fun job for sure. Oh my gosh. It is. That part was interesting to find out. The rest is all not fun. I have like a hazmat suit. I have a respirator because the stuff that insulates the attic is not safe to touch or breathe or exist really, but it's really good for insulating, and that's it. Oh, Jessa is out shopping, watching while hubby is driving. Ah, hello, Jessa. Jessa, can you say, oh, maybe he can hear me. Hi, Jessa's husband. I like her a lot. She's cool. Treat her good. I bet you do. Have fun going shopping, Jessa. Oh, I bet you she can just see the the captions. She probably can't actually hear me, huh? Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. DCH says, my mild autism requires I answer yes to hyperfixation. I don't deal with that issue. I just really like learning things, I think. So, oh, JR says, I think you could use a steady sound source, like a portable speaker, and use a phone app to measure how sound is at various places. Oh yeah, that, I don't know if that would help with my reflection question, but you're right. You probably could do that. Just like, how far does my speaker get to? That'd be good for parties and stuff like that. Hubby is laughing. You guys have fun, especially if you're going Christmas shopping. Joyous, oh my goodness, Joyous, thank you so much. You've been popping in the last couple of days to support this project. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much over on YouTube there. Thank you. That's gonna go towards finding the mouse in the attic. Okay, so let's hop into the news. Not a basket case says, apparently it's impossible to find people to do the shroud here at 4. It really is not a basket case. Not only is there not a lot of people like looking to do that on that specific step, it can also be really hard to get a friend to come help. There's some really funky stuff. Funky. Oh wait, the shroud? Hang on. Seeker? Is that the Seeker droid or the macro binoculars quest? Because there's two. One of them's really funky. Weapons of Chaos and Buried Evils. I think that might be the other one. The binoculars. Okay. The Seeker droid one is the easier one, I think. The macro binoculars one is the one that is so cranky when you try to bring people in that I don't help people anymore because I get too frustrated with the fact that I can and can't click certain things. Sometimes people say, no, it's fine, it totally works, and other times it don't. And I'm just like, ah! Is that the one with parkour? No, I think this is the other one. The one I'm talking about, there's like a puzzle you have to solve with 4 different people and they all have to be doing things at certain times, so you have to coordinate. But the hard part is sometimes some people can and can't click things, which drives me bonkers. Hey there, On the little commands don't work over on the YouTube side of things, but here, I'll make a happy little pork just for you. There you go. So cute. I've seen people advertise for Shroud in general chat quite often. I say try next week as the game will be busy next week. Oh, Jay, are you saying that because people will be on Christmas break? My guess is that probably the best place to try and find somebody to do that quest is through discord.gg/SWTOR. And maybe then you can find other people on your server who are looking to do it as well. Because there's people looking to do it, they're just like not on at the same time, you know? Skull says it's definitely more popular recently than over the last few years. I wonder why. I wonder what could cause that. Do you mean the game in general or that specific quest? Like you've seen more people looking to do it? I've helped people with that one. That's a pain. Yep, that's what I'm saying. So sale of the day is Executioner Lightning Weapon Tuning. And just as a heads up, I was creating a video for today. And I had to make some little graphics for it. And I was like, ooh, you know what? I'll take that a step further. So every morning, I'll be posting these little graphics on Twitter. Sorry, it's kind of cut off here on Twitch, but it'll show you the sales of the day and kind of point towards what you could do with it and whether I like it or not. This specific one, I actually have previews of all of the weapons with the Executioner Lightning tuning so you can kind of get a general idea of what they look like. So very, very useful. And those will be up I'll put them every 7 a.m. The snail of the day. That's right. Exactly. Snail of the day. Light mode, says Tristan. Blasphemy. Listen here. Whenever anyone complains or points out that I am clearly in the wrong for using light mode, I tell them I'm Canadian. When I used to live in Canada, light mode applications were the only sunshine that I could get, okay? I don't have that problem anymore. I found out Mr. Swtorista has a vitamin D deficiency. I was like, oh, is that because you're a gamer who never goes outside? And he's like, no, that's because I have a job where I don't go outside for 8+ hours a day. And I was like, oh, fair. Fair. Oh yeah, the S-Car Go of the day. Broadsword should just spare everyone the grief and make solo finales for the Seeker Droid, Macromonockers, and Orcon. Yeah, and Gods from the Machine. I agree, Ricochet's. I think, I don't know. I feel like it'd probably be a waste of time for them to spend time on that versus, like, other stuff. But man, I would love that. Imperial Agent is the slickest ship of all. Oh my goodness. I, by far, love the Imperial ship. By a lot. By a lot. BP Phantom says, as a Canadian, my Windows runs in dark mode. Look, you only get sunshine like 4 hours a day if you're in Canada in some places. So why you would want to invite more darkness into your life? Maybe you're just embracing it. You're like, I know what I am. I know where I am in the darkness. Let's keep going over the news. So here's the sale of the day. So these are rotating daily, and it's special for the anniversary because we know specifically what is coming up. So the most recent update is update 7.4. And that came out about a little over 2 weeks ago now. And lots of cool stuff to go check out. So don't forget, we have all the guides about that stuff on SWTORista.com. I've had a lot of people messaging me saying that they're following the like 94-part Datacron guide. So feel free to follow that or to completely ignore it or to do it by yourself without a guide and just check the guide if you get stuck somewhere. And if you want to just know how to check out some of this new stuff and without necessarily any spoilers, we do also have, I just put out a video, 7-4, on that page that you can check out that is story spoiler free. And it's basically about how can you get into and enjoy and check out the newest content and how do you start it? How do you see the new stuff that just came out in 7.4? And that video is out on youtube.com/Swtorista as well. Let's see what else we got. The Rackle event will be coming up fairly soon now, just after Christmas. It'll be on December 26th. Double XP event. It's coming. It's coming. It's almost here. Life Day event, and that'll be on the 24th. Life Day event is currently running right now, and that's probably what I'm going to go do today while we listen to that podcast. The PvP Seasons is currently running, Season 4. Galactic Seasons, Season 5 is currently running. And don't forget, there is a collections-wide unlock sale across the entire game, and they are also pushing a patch or update today. I don't know if it's like a patch or just something that happens in the background or if it maybe already happened, but they're adding some of the missing items for that players have been reporting, saying, hey, this item didn't wind up 50% off, could you add it? And it sounds like they are going to add it, so that's cool. It's just a bunch of random little items here and there. For the most part, everything's 50% off already. Just don't gotta worry, just gotta check. It's very easy to check. There's a big 50% off sign when you go to buy it. In Canadian territories, their days are longer or shorter depending on the time of the year. For example, in June, their days are as long as 20 hours. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard about that. I'm just talking about like halfway up Canada. I'm not talking about quite those extremes. But man, I would be so cranky when I used to be in Canada and I would go to work in the dark and I would come home in the dark. And I don't mean like twilight or the sun is setting. I mean like the pitch black dark and the snow. And I'd just be like, ugh. Canadian bacon, hey there. Canadian bacon, how many hours of sun do you get a day? Did you read Papa Keith's forums post summing up this year and giving us a small preview of next year? Yeah! We got a chance to read that yesterday. And I quite liked it. I liked hearing about what's coming up. I liked the little summary of what had already happened, and they showed off some stuff like the redo of Voss waterfalls and like just kind of talking about the story and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm a sucker for learning about what's coming up. I liked hearing, here's one of the new things for anyone who missed it. With our next release in 7.4.1, we are doing something pretty cool in Galactic Season 6. The story and primary reward of the season will take you back to a location that you haven't been to in quite some time, and it has quite a view. So yesterday we were spending all our time speculating on what that view might be. My favorite is still you guys saying terrace. Terrace question, Hedda. What are you doing? Bacon says, LMAO, I don't get much sun. Unfortunately, I myself am very excited for next year. They said that they're going to continue the Basilisk War Droid quest, but in update 7.5. And when we get back from the holiday break, we'll be preparing for a 7.4.1 live stream that we are tentatively scheduling for February 14th on Valentine's Day. And I think that was pretty much it for news. Mostly that, you know, we're having this anniversary stuff going on, and then we're going to go for the holidays. Bye. How are we gonna know when the devs go on holidays? So we have to watch Jackie's Twitter when she goes from cooking once a day to cooking like 5 times a day. That's how you know she's on vacation. That's my guess. I don't know how else you would see. But it's been really nice as well. And I was considering making a little compilation for the anniversary. SWTOR did an official post, and I noticed something very interesting. The developers, especially since they moved to Broadsword, it kind of started there more strongly, but it existed before as well. They've been doing this thing where they're actually more active on Twitter about the game. I don't know if it's a coordinated effort or if it just they kind of felt comfortable to do it. I think it might, this is my guess, I don't know if it's true. It might have been at the suggestion of Jackie to like share their enjoyment of the game as possibly a way of kind of humanizing developers, because we definitely, much like in other MMORPGs, we do definitely have a problem where players sometimes treat the devs like dogs. Like, it's very strange, like not treat them like people. So I was wondering if that might be part of it. So if you see, here's their official post. And then let's see, how do I see the quote view? That's how to retweet it. How do I see the retweets? Oh, here we go, repost. And, oh, cool. So here's like Caitlin Sullivan Kelly. She said, it's very rare when you find a job where you love what you do and who you work with. I'm lucky that I've gotten both for the last 10 years. See, isn't stuff like that nice? Who else? David Stats. This is a former developer. Obviously, this is not a coordinated effort. He just felt like it, you know? This game means so much to me, both on a personal and professional level. So happy to see it still thriving and providing the incredible stars experience only it can provide. Here's hoping for another 12 years. There's Zam. Aw, Zam. Jackie says, I cannot believe I've been with the SWTOR team for a few years. They've taught me so much, not just about game dev in general, but what it means to work as a team. As a community manager, I get to plug into various teams to understand how they work. All of them are truly inspiring. Ashley Rule, the cutscene director at Cinematic in charge person? I'm sorry, I forget her exact title. Happy 12th anniversary, SWTOR. Love this project, love this team, and love all the players that have shared and continue to share their passions for the game. Ah, thank you. Here's many more years of role-playing in Star Wars. Role-playing? Aw! Because she gets to do all the cutscene stuff, or she directs it. David Shremick also works on the game. Happy birthday, SWTOR. I look forward to many more years working on this, my favorite era of Star Wars. Chris Schmidt, former developer. Congrats, team. What a wonderful group of developers pouring their heart into a massive game. Here's to 12 more. This is our Cal. Aww. Oh, Template of Kyber. They're really nice too. We caught them streaming the other day. Oh, Corso buddy. Okay, let's see. I think that's it for the devs, but I feel like I saw a few more of them posting as well. But yeah, oh, this is also a former SWTOR dev. Still at EA, though. Happy birthday, SWTOR. Cheers to the whole team. So very, very cool, right? In charge person is an official title. That's right. So big thank you to Kara earlier on before we started the stream proper, and Rum, who both wanted to support this project. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. I feel weird that some characters are trying to hit on my smuggler, although he is into guys. Yeah, Carrot, you have to tell him, no way, Jose. Not interested, lady. Unfortunately, there's no way for them to know that. Unless you got like a sticker, maybe you got a badge. Say, no way, Jose. No, wait. No way, Josefina. Yes way, Jose? I don't... You know, advertising button. We have Horvath says, hey, I just started playing SWTOR a while ago and hit 80. Your websites have been really helpful. Hey, welcome to the end game, Horvath. You've just hit a major milestone. I hope you have fun checking out some of the stuff that you can do now too. DCH Ditch says, did you note that Jackie also streams on Twitch? Yeah, I saw that. Every once in a while she does. I think she's been doing a horror game lately. Pretty fun, yeah. All right, I'll be right back, and then we're gonna jump in game. Alrighty, so I'm gonna be heading to Nar Shaddaa to throw snowballs. This is technically a group activity if you want to join, but it's also a solo activity that you can do with other people. It's kind of funny. So you can throw... Oh, Actus. Are there romances in SWTOR? Can you please follow that question up, Actus, with the second part of your question? I don't know what the second part of your question is, but I'm sure it's absolutely on point for a brand new player who has never played this game before, ever. So we're gonna go listen to a podcast actually while we go throw snowballs, and like I was saying, this is both a group and a solo activity. You can throw snowballs by yourself all you want. However, there's a specific activity where you throw snowballs at a specific type of enemy, and you don't have to group up or anything like that, but you're basically kind of looking for a big mob. Don't tell me I'm on the PvP section. I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not. Okay. On Nar Shaddaa, I'm wondering if maybe I need to go to instance 1 for this to be feasible. I'm looking for a giant group of people throwing snowballs. I found like one person. I'm gonna head. Sometimes they're just on the other side of the room. Sometimes they're in a different instance. Let's find them. Oh, there's like one person here. Okay, let's try and go to instance 1. And also, let's change our interface editor because I can't see anything. I think it's because I was filming earlier. Oh, that was DCH? Oh, they're upstairs? What are they doing upstairs? Oh, Actus, here's the second part of Actus's question. It was actually a comment. I just want to hook up with a hot hut. Well, you see, during the Feast of Prosperity, Actus, in the fall, you can interact with both a stove as well as 2 different huts that are vaguely located near a kitchen. I'll leave the deduction up to you. I'd like to see the devs stream SWTOR once in a while. JR, they actually used to way back in the day. This was a while ago. This is when they actually had a streamer as a temporary community manager. She was on a contract. I'm guessing it didn't quite work out. But she was live streaming and she would grab one of the devs and they would stream together. However, although itself was fun, the devs unfortunately would just get bombarded with questions, developer questions about the game that they could not answer because they reserved those type of questions until they've like actually sorted things out. Like, are we gonna get a Kira Carson romance? Where's Nightmare Mode R4? Can you fix my character not being able to log in? You know, those type of things are not, like, they can't fix them while they're streaming, running around on Alderaan, you know? Pocket, that's it, that's the one. So they decided that it was just not a good format, unfortunately. Instance 2 by the slippery slopes? Wait! I just moved to Instance 1! Now I have to go back to 2? Oh, you can't switch instances? I'm gonna switch characters, screw that. Boy! Thank you, thanks for the intel. Dun dun dun. Normally I can find them. I'm just kind of dumb, I guess. So yeah, that's why they don't stream anymore, because it just wasn't a good format for the way that players like to interact. If that makes sense. Oh my goodness, Jackie just reposted my live stream. I hope she's not here right now and I'm like talking about her. Wow. Okay, let's go on this character. No, let's go on. Oh, I'm gonna go on the dark side. Do you see? It says, "Why do you bully me?" I'll leave you there. Jackie sees and knows all. She sees you when you're sleeping. She knows when you're awake. She knows when you're lying to customer support. So be good for goodness sake. Remember when everyone made their characters look like Eric Musco? Yeah, wasn't that for a guild event? A guild event and maybe Utini cast? The Utini Knights Guild, I want to say. I don't remember much. That was a while ago. That was funny though. Everyone made different Muscos. And I think that, did they invite Musco to join? I can't remember. Either way, very funny. Jara says, I remember coming across a ST online dev stream where they stream the game just chilling and chat seemed chill. They seem to do it every 2 weeks or something. Right, yeah. If people were chill in chat, then it would be fine. But people were not chill in chat. But it also could be like, I feel like people were a lot less chill in my chat when I started. Like, it's almost like we've created an expectation, so you guys like kind of know what it is. Like there's lots of things that are not okay to say to me on stream, and you guys don't, which is pretty cool. It's like we've almost weeded out some of the bad actors by now, which I really appreciate because I love hanging out with you guys, and I can't do that if I'm like crying. Who is Eric Musco? Oh, great question. So okay, I'm gonna find him. I see someone on a snowball. I'm looking for a big group of people. I see a bunch of people running around. I see people hugging Wookiees. That's maybe what they're doing. Only not chill person, but that's because me and Swtorista are besties. Just because we met in real life doesn't mean you're my best friend, okay? My best friend is chocolate milk and spaghetti, and you can't take that away from me. Oh, I found a small group. I'm wondering if it's smaller in general because we're a couple days in. We're no longer in the first couple days of a Life Day event. So snowball? Oh, did I not actually pick up a snowball? Do I need to like go to the fleet to get my damn snowball? Oh, that's so sad. Okay. You know what? I'm going back on my main character. I'm not staying here. It's stinky Imperials. Chocolate milk should be banned, confirmed. Yo, is the podcast no longer a thing? I drifted in and out of the game, but that was a strong part of my commute a few years back. Hey there, Silichiro. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying. Are you talking about the Starforge podcast? Unfortunately, Mal was pretty unhappy with the direction of the game and how it affected her friends and stuff like that. So we ended up stopping it. So there won't be any more. As far as I know, she's still playing. However, there are some other good podcasts you are welcome to check out, and we're actually going to be listening to one today. They're not quite as snarky. They're a little more informed. So let's take a look at... we're going to look at the Escape podcast that recently did... SWTOR? SWTOR Escape podcast, aka New Overlords. And I'm gonna link this for you guys in both chats, and I really recommend that you check this out. They have a very professional podcast. A while ago, they actually moved over to doing multiple podcasts, so they run 2 now. This is the SWTOR one. Do they just call it the new New Overlords podcast? And it's no longer the SWTOR Escape podcast? Did I miss the move? I haven't listened in a while. And then second, they also run something called Behind the Games podcast, where they interview people who actually work on video games. And Max has an incredibly professional setup at this point. It's been really cool to watch them grow. Quick question, Swtorista, do you think the thermal detonator should do AoE damage based lines instead of needing a tactical? I don't know, and I don't know if I care. You're gonna have to ask somebody who's a little more into parsing and high-end combat and stuff like that. I just kind of throw stuff. Stasky says, I know you're all fans, but is it still worth to get into SWTOR with a change of developers and all? Oh, that's a great question, Staxy. So yeah, you're asking a slightly biased group who's currently enjoying playing it. But so there's two questions there. So first off, if you haven't played before, the way the game is set up is really cool. Unlike some other games, the story is linear. And the later you join in the game, it's never too late. You just start at the beginning and work your way through. You've never missed out on anything or like joined too late to enjoy the main component of the game and the main good part of the game, which is the story. As in terms of like end game stuff, like high level stuff, what's cool is they kind of do a reset every year or two, and everyone's kind of starting off on the same foot again, which is also nice. So you're never like too far behind. So second is with the move to the new developers. So we were all kind of worried about it. You may have heard some rumors and stuff like that about it, especially before it was official news. But basically the entire team moved to a new studio. They've already had their first really successful release, and they just finished talking about what's coming up next. So we're in good hands so far as I can tell. So enjoy. And feel free to ask any specific questions you have about the game. Hey there, Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, I like that you did a little pork. Welcome. I love those little guys. They're so cute. Broadsword seems more committed to the game and players. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because as far as I can tell, it's the same people with the same level of dedication, but they might have a better management flow now, so that they can actually showcase that dedication more rather than being stuck in other stuff. That's my guess. We don't actually have a lot of information. Like, I think I tried asking them like outright, like what does Broadsword, what is it different? I don't know if I got an answer that I understood. I don't remember. But I don't know if I could tell you what's different. But I'm really happy with what they've been doing so far. No complaints. Corley gave me some intel. Corley says, Max and Sima only do one podcast now. The Behind the Games is the one on hiatus. Oh, okay. Escape Podcast is now the New Overlords podcast. They still talk about SWTOR, but talk about other games and topics more. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So I got it. So here we have SWTOR, Broadsword Game Wars the day before, Interior with SWTOR Change in the Dark, SWTOR Down Under, APAC stuff, and What's Up at BlizzCon, and ARC. So yeah, it looks like they kind of hop around between games now. Cool. Right, they won't be dragged away for BioWare projects, which they could be dragged away for Ultima Online projects, but I don't think so. So let's take a look at this interview, and I'm going to share this with you here. So if you guys want to come check that out, please feel free. Yeah, their site looks really nice.
Hello, this is a special edition of the New Overlords podcast. We are very excited.
Hello,
I am Max, and with me, of course, is my co-host Seema. Hello, Seema.
Hi, Max. Hi, everyone.
Today, we're hosting...
How are we for volume there? Yay or nay? How are we doing? Good? Too loud? Not loud enough? Good for you? Good? A little quiet? I can bump it up a little. Yeah, it's a little quiet for me too. Let's see, what else can I do to make it louder just for you guys? Da-da-da! Turn it up a hair? Okay. I'm gonna give it a go. Sorry if I bust your eardrums.
A special Behind the Games interview with a significant chunk of the Broadsword Star Wars The Old Republic studio development team. Significant to us, but a few people from the team.
Round two. Good?
Caitlin Sullivan-Kelly, Ashley Rule, who is
Ashley.
returning, who we've talked to
Yay.
before in this format,
And Papa Keith.
and Keith Koenig. Hello, all three of you.
Hello. Hello.
This is super exciting for us. We've been fans for a very long time. We, Seema and I, are very familiar with you all individually and your roles. We've been stalking you for 10 years on and off, or as long as you've been with the company. Stalking SWTOR for 10 years.
Is this
But for
live? Is this live? Sorry. Okay, so this is a recording. It's a video. It's a podcast. It's the New Overlords podcast, run by Max and Seema. I believe there is a fifth person, but you can't see her. She's like behind the scenes. She's the co-host. Like, I think I can hear her in the background. I hear her laughing. So this is the New Overlords podcast. These are two very dedicated SWTOR players who are interviewing 3 members of the Broadsword team. So Papa Keith, Caitlin, and Ashley. It's not live because I just paused it. It's a video. I mean, I'm here. I'm live. Hi. We got permission from Max down here in the corner. I asked, do you mind if I listen to the podcast on stream? Good? Clear? Yeah?
People that aren't
Seema's
as
right
familiar,
here.
let's kick things off and introduce, let you introduce each of you and your roles in particular a little bit. So as we go through the questions today, we'll be asking questions specific.
I'm going to see if I can get it so you guys can see this while I throw snowballs in the background, okay? Hang on. I'm going to do a slightly different window. So I'm going to go to SWTOR, but I'm going to add a window capture, Chrome, create new, and the New Overlord podcast, and we'll crop it. Oh yeah? Yeah, now we're on to something. Printer. Cheers, have a good one, Rum Shack. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, they all seem like nice people. That's because they are. And then I'm gonna go throw snowballs. Oh, there we go. How we doing? How we looking here? You guys can see it. I can see it. Let me know if the sound is doubled up, and I'll make sure it stops.
To your role, I think that'll be a good place to start. So
No.
Ashley.
Hang on. No, hang on. No, I know how to do this. I know how to do it. No, I know. I believe in myself. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day.
Welcome back. Why don't we,
here we
get
go.
back to you
Hell
on
yeah.
narrative director? Why don't you tell us what that's like?
Hello. Yes, I'm Ashley Rule. I'm the narrative director on SWTOR The Old Republic. I've been in game narratives across multiple studios for 12 years, I think, almost as long as, or about just as long as SWTOR's been around, because my first job was actually working on SWTOR as a cinematic designer.
Right.
So I've been bouncing around different studios and doing cinematics and writing and narrative, and currently a narrative director on SWTOR. So my job as a narrative director is basically just to steer the ship, make sure that what we're creating is cohesive to the game that we've built so far, that we're creating content that is going to excite players and touches as much of our fan base as possible, and that I can support our narrative team. I can support Caitlin as the lead writer, and work with gameplay to make sure we get all of our ducks in a row and get a really cool experience.
Excellent. Well, we've certainly got some questions for you, including follow-up questions from the last time we talked, which is awesome. Caitlin, so that leads right into you. Why don't you introduce yourself and your role?
Absolutely. As was said, my name is Caitlin Sullivan-Kelly. I'm the lead writer on Star Wars The Old Republic. Next month will mark my 10th year on Star Wars The Old Republic.
Okay.
I started in January of 2014, and I've been on the team ever since. I started out in QA as a world design analyst, so I was working on leading a group of testers and writing test plans and things like that, working very closely with world designers to make sure that everything
Very
was given
neat.
the
I
proper
didn't know that.
testing coverage. And from there, throughout the years, I slowly moved into a more narrative-focused position. I was really concentrating on giving feedback to the writers, giving feedback to the cinematic designers, to make sure that the story was cohesive, to make that it fit with the previous things that we've established in the game's story, to make sure characters sound like the characters that they're supposed to sound like, things like that. That was also keeping track of things like choices that you make and characters that appear over time. I've built copious amounts of documentation that track all those things. So at this point,
I wonder what that
in addition
looks
to
like in the
writing pretty
background.
much most of the things that you see in the game, whether it's a cinematic or a quest mail or a codex entry or a quest journal, I would call myself kind of our unofficial lore keeper. I remember a lot of the stuff even from before I joined the team. I've got most of it up here. I rely on the internet for everything else. But usually when you need like a jumping off point, if design or art or somebody needs something, some kind of reference, they usually can come to me to help narrow down where to start looking.
Okay, this is excellent, and we've got some questions
Yeah,
about
that's awesome.
the characters and where they came from, and how you're doing such a great job in pulling people forward and creating new characters that will live on. And now I know where that superpower is coming from. So you've got the reference all. You've got Wikipedia in your head. So that's excellent.
Almost at this point, I would say, yeah.
And
10 years of staring at the website burned a lot of it into my brain.
And then
Yeah,
Keith,
what's that buzz
so you may not remember Keith, but you and I did meet at the New York Cantina, the last in-person cantina at the New York Comic Con. So I was there. That was a great cantina because it was sort of small. There was like the 2 floors around the bar. You were there with your wife. It was an amazing.
We had a question in chat, so I'm gonna pause the video real fast. Tristan says, can anyone help me? I bought the snowball bomb, but no parcels are showing up in my currency tab. I'm a preferred player if that matters. So when you get one, it will pop up as a quest. Like a quest reward. So you may have seen me actually accepting mine while I'm playing. It might be behind the video, I'm not sure. But the chance is low. It's not high. It's like 14% or something, I think someone was saying yesterday. And the way it works is that if you've already put a snowball on somebody, I can see mine with the gold border right here. If you already put it on them or on that character, if you throw it on the same one again, oh my gosh, they just died. If you put it on them and you put it on the same person again, it doesn't increase your chances at all. It has to be on a different person that you haven't put it on, or if you find this giant pack of people pummeling overheated gift droids, it'll get reset every time someone else throws a snowball. So yeah, you have to actually. Okay, can I new game? Yes, I wasn't sure if it was annoying or not. Apparently, it totally is. Here you go.
Event. There was a few people there.
I'm sad that they don't
so
have any like music in the background
I've
of
seen
their
you in
podcast,
person
though.
as well, but we've certainly followed you and your work on Star Wars: The Old Republic. Why don't you introduce yourself to anybody who doesn't know, even though everyone should?
Oh, you're Buzz Lightyear. Nice.
Well, thank you. Yes, I do remember back in New York, right? My wife and I were celebrating our anniversary, right? It's always in early October, right? This will be our 45th anniversary coming up next year, right?
Amazing.
That's
Congratulations.
fantastic.
Yeah, and if you tie that to a time frame, that's back in 1977 where we met, and our first date together was A New
Yes.
Hope, right?
Oh
So
my
we've been,
gosh.
all that time together, we've been
Nerds.
Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so it's. But I'm the EP for the team, right? And what that really means is I
Executive
have
producer.
oversight of the entire organization, the business itself, because gaming is still a business, and we need to make sure that we're profitable. We got the right resources, doing the right things, and I try to make sure that things are out of their way, right? Sometimes I get in their way because I play the game so much.
Keith, stop playing the game and stop leaking stuff on my stream. We had a question from Diana who wanted to know, how do I get that cat? Is it a funny? It's supposed to be a loth cat. It's a slightly deformed, smush-faced loth cat, but it does go. It does go row, 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 row. Super cute. So the way to get that, I don't know if you'll still be able to or not at this point because it's quite high up the track, but it's part of Galactic Seasons, which you actually may have already started. I've just linked something for you in YouTube chat and take a look. Be Young God says, I will subscribe today, and I hope we'll play one together. All the best. Perhaps we will play one all together in the future. Perhaps it will be on Tuesdays when we do group events that you can join. Yes, Keith and his wife met the year Star Wars movie was released. Oh yeah, their first date, right? Okay, let's go back to the podcast.
And I act like a player with privileges, right? Because I can tell them directly the way I feel about stuff, and they all kind of roll their heads and get around their eyes. And right, I have a conversation with Musco about design, right? And it happens on a regular basis, right? But Seema had mentioned the Apex server and how she's having a lot of fun. I'm also over there, right? Because it's been 10 years since I got legendary status, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, no, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get all 8 characters past, Corellia, and so I can run around with that little legendary status thing.
That's fun.
Right. And I've got four done already, right? So
Yeah.
it's only been a month, right? So.
Oh my gosh.
But
Oh,
yeah, I play the
another
game
very
all the
nice
time.
question. Hang on, sorry. I know we're going to be stopping this a lot. So don't forget, if you want to go listen to this without me interrupting every 5 seconds to talk to you guys, this is the new Overlords podcast. And it covers a variety of topics, but it mostly is about 50% SWTOR, it looks like. And this is an interview that they're doing with the developers, the 2 podcast owners or co-hosts are interviewing 3 of the SWTOR developers, which is really cool. And the 2 people who run it are also very, very friendly. I very much like them both Max and Seema. I had a question here from Suicidal Banana. What a name. So how do I properly play this? I'm going to turn the cast back on. You can't stop me. I have tried a few times, but I just end up being caveman brain and button mashing the top row of my keyboard. Are there any guides about how to properly play certain classes? Really, really great description of how you play. And don't worry, a lot of other players play that way too. I've got some great news for you. So there's obviously a very high skill level way to play stuff. And you don't necessarily have to play that way, but you can, within like a very short period of time, learn to play a step above caveman button mashing. It works for me, says Suicidal, but it feels wrong. And you're right, it should feel wrong because there is a synergy, there is a connection between the abilities and how they weave together and how they affect each other. So if you're completely just button mashing, that weaving together doesn't happen. A really highly skilled player knows exactly when to use every ability and has the dexterity to also do so. Now, if you're like me and you kind of suck at video games or you're newer and you're still learning, we have put something together called the basic class guides for every class. I can't show it to you right now because I'm scared to mess up my podcast in the corner here. Right, yeah, so Sakura says the Swtorista website tells you how to line up your rotation 1 to 5. So we have what we call 5 button class guides. Should I be doing air quotes with all 5 fingers? Yeah? So it makes things a little easier in how the abilities connect to each other, and it gives a very short explanation of how they connect together, and it makes playing a lot more fun, in my opinion, and we've got that for all 48 disciplines. So I've linked it for you in chat. Out of curiosity, what class do you play? And you can go check that out. With all respect, but the screenshot is filled with text and pause video. Can't barely see the gameplay. Ghost Rider, I'm literally just throwing snowballs. There's no gameplay today. We're just mostly taking a look at this podcast here. Here, I can put it up here and you can see the gameplay. The riveting gameplay of throwing snowballs. If you want to check out some gameplay,
Good morning. Yesterday a guy was spamming Enuri Lyphion on Starforge for the great goddess Swtorista.
A new religion! No game, only snowballs. Yeah. So we actually play the game pretty much every other day. Today we're just listening to a podcast and looking at, this is actually the developer space.
People laugh, the developers never play the game. No, I play it every day, right? I've got something to do every day. I have goals, right? Guilds that I participate in, right?
What guilds?
But on a regular basis, I'm just talking to the dev team. I'm talking to the leadership, right? I'm doing a lot of things that keep the team focused on what our goals are and our vision are, right? That we have. Jackie mentioned where we're going to do a producer letter here in the next couple weeks. And I'll put out just kind of basically what we're doing over the next 6 months. It'll be probably looking back as to what we accomplished this past year. People get to and get to read all that, right? And see what's coming down the pipe in the next few months, right? So
that's excellent. One of the things you mentioned in there is what I really think the kind of the executive producer and the
easy listening on. I'm really sorry. I need some type of sound in my life. I should be able to just open it in the background here. We've got a chill playlist. I'll put it super low, okay?
of the executive roles in a company are for, which is getting rid of the barriers, getting the barriers out of the way. You can provide your input and they can choose to accept it or not. there's that whole kind of thing. But as the team needs to do their job, you being there to break down any walls and to make sure that the resources are lined up and to remove any of those barriers, I think that's excellent. And from our perspective, you must be doing a really good job, because let's talk about 7.4 now, and not only 7.4, but all of the things that have been happening along the year, and not only just happening, but happening like clockwork. So this is something that's really impressed us, even through how things have changed for you all as a team over the course of the past year. We're still getting the movement to the cloud, the infrastructure changes, the cadence of the story, the cadence of the updates that you promised are being delivered. And I think that's under-recognized. If you weren't meeting those promises, that would certainly be recognized, and that would be a big news, and everybody would yell about that. So why don't you start there? The road to 7.4. We could talk about what's in 7.4 next, but how is that feeling to you all?
All right, let me start it this way. All right, I look and say I'd love to take credit for all the way the team operates, but in reality, they are such a coordinated team. Right, they work together hand in hand. There aren't any silos on this team. I think we have built a culture around communication amongst the team. Everybody, as Kaylin pointed out, everybody, when they have a question, they don't just go research on it. They ask. They put it up in a channel and they talk about it. We have long discussions about things that we believe our players want. We don't always agree, right? And that's okay. That's healthy. They don't, as you just point out, don't necessarily do what I suggest, right? And that's also healthy. Because I'm not dictatorial, right? From my standpoint, I leave it up to all the design leads. I leave it up to the engineering leads and people on the team to work together, figure out what they want to do, and then place that within a schedule of time frame that we've allocated. We said, this is what we want. And Ashley and team said, okay, this is what we can do in that time frame. And everybody rallies behind them, right? And says, okay, this is how we're going to execute against that. I'll let them talk about their process and how they got there.
Yeah, within the design leadership, since our big transition last year when I was brought into this role and we had our new suite of design directors, we've been really, really thoughtful about making sure that we're communicating up and down within our teams, and that we are getting the information from our teams of what we want to do, what we want to create, what we can create, and then doing a lot of cross chatter between those departments and how can we collaborate more. And then from there, we can build a plan of the content we want to build. And so that's made it a lot clearer, a lot clearer path forward for us to have that kind of communication. And it's tough because everybody has different priorities within their disciplines to build the thing that is the most important thing to them. And so it takes a lot to be those voices that keep connecting each other and saying, hey, how does that relate to this? How are we supporting you in that? And make sure that we have the scope to do so. But we're being very thoughtful about that kind of communication. And I think that has led to a lot more of a predictable cadence as we've been releasing content.
Oh, that's excellent. As I said, it's definitely recognized. The other point that I think is really recognized even from the outside, as you've gone through things like your anniversary and you talk about the other roles, and Jackie's done such a great job of pulling other people into the dev streams. It's such a cohesive team, and a team of so many of you. I mean, as Caitlin's saying, you all have been touching the game for years and years and years. My experience in corporate teams, or even in other studios that we've talked to have a team that has such depth of experience and years of working together, across so many of the roles is pretty rare. And that's got to be an excel.
I love that Max is pointing this out. So the team does feel really cohesive right now. The SWTOR team, like, we know who does what for the most part. We have a little list of which devs are in charge of which departments, and they seem to actually like each other and stuff like that. It's pretty cool to see. And yeah, they have a lot of experience across the board there. Even Jackie, who I think is the newest member of the team, she has a ton of experience from her previous position as a community manager as well. Oh, nice. So yeah, your guess you're an assassin. So Suicidal Banana is that name, my goodness. What you're going to want to do when you're in game is you're going to hop into, you're going to press the letter K on your keyboard. That's the fastest way to get there. K for combat styles. And you're going to look in your disciplines. So your disciplines is the guide that you're looking for. So your assassin's going to be up here, and you're going to be one of 3 types of assassins, and all 3 of those actually play differently. So that's what you're going to be looking up the guide for. But yeah, you might not actually know which one you are until you hop in game if you're not super familiar with with looking up that kind of stuff, right? So someone asked about looking up jetpacks. I don't have like a good list or anything of jetpacks or any specific recommendations, but I gave you a little bit of area to look into. I'm wondering if the old Tor Fashion archives have a jetpack filter. So if you also could try Googling, this is a weird one, Swtorista Tor Fashion archives. I think Swtorista Tor Fashion archives. And then you can, oh, I missed the N there. But you might look for a filter called jetpack. I don't know if it has it or not. I'd look for you myself, but I'm scared to mess up my like developer interview I'm listening to in the corner here. So yeah, we had a player asking about if I'm a marauder, I have 2 lightsabers. Do I have to buy 2? No, if they're cartel market stuff, no, you only need to buy 1. Super awesome. Another player mentioned a totally different concept than what I discussed of just claiming it from collections. If you're putting in the outfitter, regardless of what type of weapon it is, if you're using the outfitter, you can just grab it from your inventory, put it in once, grab it from your inventory, put it in twice. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Ba-boom! How do I get this playing again?
Accelerator to you being able to both communicate, but almost, just telepathically know what each other is thinking and doing and how you're going to respond, and being able to move forward on that. Does that sound correct, Caitlin? Is that?
Thomas, I love the Imperial Agent story, but the one I always come back to is the Inquisitor story. I love all the spooky bits, so I won't go into too many spoilers. But the Agent story I love because of its variety of story. I like that a lot.
Do you read Ashley's mind when you come up with some of your decisions on story?
Well, I was going to say I wouldn't go as far as saying telepathically, but maybe it depends on the person, because I feel like Ashley a lot of times will say things like, oh, I was just thinking that exact same thing. So yeah, it depends on the person. But
this is what happens when you have 2 absolute nerds who love like lore stuff working together, who love like story stuff working together. It's really fun. I'm really liking this this
half-witted, scruffy-looking
nerfer. Thank you, Kame. Thank you very much. I'm really liking this I guess dual teamwork between Ashley Rule and Caitlin Sullivan Kelly. It's been really cool to see so far in the newer updates. Even before they moved to Broadsword, they were kind of doing this. Basically, I think before Charles Boyd was basically kind of in charge of both, but his focus is more on story than cinematics as far as I know. So now they've kind of broke it into 2 different positions, and these 2 people are kind of combining their resources, their knowledge together. So Ashley is a freaking huge, as she talked earlier, I'm sorry I keep using the word nerd, it's very affectionate, I'm a huge nerd too, but Ashley, as she mentioned earlier, she's basically the lore archivist for the game right now, and has been actually even before she became the lead narrative director. Basically, not necessarily the lead writer. I believe there is multiple writers, but she is the one who kind of designs the direction of the story. And one of the things that I noticed, I don't know, I assume it's like her background and her interests and stuff like that, but she tends to go into a deeper kind of emotional connection with the characters than the previously narrative director. For example, kind of like, I guess, romantic stuff, kind of like the connection with Torian and stuff like that, versus these grand sweeping stories. Lore nerd director, nice position. The Nerf, what is the Nerf herder reference from? Oh, that's cute. I think that's an achievement. You can look it up. You play as the human normally or go for alien races as an Imperial agent. Playing as a Chiss agent myself. Oh my gosh. If you're not playing an Imperial agent as an alien, you're doing it wrong. Come on. It's awesome. Jawface says, I watched this interview. It's pretty good. Yeah, Jawface. Nice to see you. I asked Max, I really want to watch this interview, but I don't have a lot of like downtime. Can I watch it on stream and share it? And he said, yeah, as long as you tell people how they can come follow the podcast. So this is actually an ongoing podcast with Max and Seema are the hosts. It's called the New Overlords Podcast. And you can go check it out as well as some of their past SWTOR related podcasts too. So that's why we're listening on stream today.
There are plenty of people on the team who, like you mentioned, have just as much of experience as the rest of us do, particularly with SWTOR, and just knowing what they know and knowing kind of how they operate and knowing how they communicate is a really helpful thing, because it makes everyone just so approachable. And it's after and everything, we can't all get together and hang out, obviously, because we still have some people who work remotely and don't work in Austin. But, a lot of us do have that experience of just like being around each other for X many years. And we have all these shared experiences and shared stories going back for many of us as far back as before launch. There's a bunch of people on the team who worked on the game since before launch.
Yeah.
That's interesting because we tend to think of before launch as a whole different group of people, but it really wasn't.
Right.
Had, people reaching back.
It wasn't, I feel like.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of other people, but there's still some veterans who have stuck around. I think, Ashley, weren't you here before launch on one of your contracts? And then you came back?
My first contract was, I kept...
That's really cool. I don't think, I assumed it was at this point like a whole different team. Like I think even Eric Busco wasn't technically there before launch, I don't think. He was there near the beginning. Yes, he was just a podcast owner before that. When you could get hired by just being a podcaster. And not having any professional experience. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get that anymore, but yeah, super cool.
Coming back and leaving, but my first contract was, it started in February of 2011, so I was here for launch, and then my contract ended right after the game launched.
I've been here since April 2011, right? And had a variety of roles with being on the team. When I got to take over the producer role in the end of 2016, it was, why are you qualified to do this, right? But at the time, there was a lot of difference of opinion as to whether or not the game was going to be successful after 2016. But here we are in 2024.
Spicy drama. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've ever seen someone or heard someone say that out loud. Was that Knights of the Fallen Empire? Was that before or after they started releasing things chapters wise? I don't know. Travis, hi. Nice to see you. Hi. I've been wondering how you've been doing. How's the married life going? I've been thinking about you. I'm sorry I didn't message you. I get anxious. Nice to see you. Travis, I know you probably don't care about what's going on in the background here, but we're listening to the developers talk about the game. I was actually thinking about you the other day because we were having a discussion on stream about the differences between being able to watch and listen to a quest, like a story, like a movie, versus having to stop and read it. And it made me think of you a lot. Yeah. The married life is hella tight. Yeah. This is someone I know in real life. Very, very dear to me. Let's see. But no longer live in the same country, so. Or maybe.
Right, we've obviously done a lot of good things, right? This team is very veteran, as you point out. There's people that have been on the team, 13, 14, 15 years, right? And, in my case, this is my 13th year, right? And I'm just as excited now as it was back then, right? But to your other point, it's a very cool team to be on, right? A lot of cooperation, a lot of friendship.
Sorry to pause it again. Okay, so he said we weren't sure. There was a lot of discussion about whether the game would be successful after 2016. So a bunch of you are saying Fallen Empire came out in 2015. And I think, unfortunately, especially with the way they're talking about it, Fallen Empire was kind of a failure, like probably monetarily wise. Players we know for sure already from previous comments that players did not like the fact that chapters or stories were being released every couple of months in little bite-sized pieces. And then the first 9 chapters, says Kara, of Knights of Fallen Empire were released in 2015, with the remaining 7 chapters being released in 2016. So right, so they were like, can we keep going with this or not? Knights of the Fallen Empire, someone else mentioned in chat, was actually cut down to 9 chapters because of the previous, I guess, lack of success. However, Knights of the Eternal Throne I actually think was a lot better than Knights of the Fallen Empire, because they did cut it down and they did condense it and did tighten up the story and stuff like that. And there was no operations. Forrester, you're right. That was actually the point where I was the least happy with the game, and I actually voted with my dollar because they weren't going to be making any more big group content because they went all in the story. That's right. That was when I unsubscribed from the game. So I was like, hey, if you're not going to make group stuff for a group game, I'm not going to give you money. It's easier to play the game preferred at that point, though. Fallen Empire was a failure in their eyes. That's why Kotet was cut down. I always thought Kotet was cut down because, 1, they didn't want to release it over time because that was the actual point of failure. And 2, it was really, like, spread out for no reason before. Like, they really condensed it and tightened it for Kotet. Skull also unsubbed for a couple of years at that point. Right. I remember them announcing Gods from the Machine, and I was like, are you gonna put group content? If so, here's my money. Like, it was a super simple decision. Like, they hadn't even released it yet. They even said that they might not even be, like, releasing it all at once, but I was like, nope, here's some cash. Here's my subscription again. So yeah, it's interesting to hear them talk about it. It's probably because it's far enough away now that it's considered history versus, like, current studio issues, you know? Summer of 2016 and the Dark vs. Light event. To be fair, I'm pretty sure that itself was very successful. Oh, Robert, if you go to the GTN again, check the claim button on the top right. You might be able to find whatever you sold, your credits. However, don't forget there's new fees and stuff like that. Jawa says, I noticed in the intro credits, Ashley was like a director of Tales from the Borderlands, which I played not too long ago for the first time and really enjoyed it. Oh, cool. You know, right, it's hard to remember that these devs probably worked on other stuff as well, right? Oh, interesting. Jawa says, I think they had a 3rd Sequel Chapters expansion planned as well, originally at least. I'm glad they wrapped that story up. Can you link the VOD you're watching? Yes. No, hang on. So I have it. I'm scared to, like, break my window. Here we go. I should be able. Here we go. Oh, God, let's put that. This is the New Overlords podcast. And you guys are welcome to go watch that. Very, very welcome. This is by Max and Seema and their podcast, New Overlords Podcast, and they gave me permission to rewatch it on stream. Night Exarch, have a good one. And thanks for asking for the link. Yeah, I wish maybe I need, like, a title or something like that. I didn't really set this up for success, lol.
Chips here, right? A lot of people that have opinions, but they respect everybody else's.
Yeah.
I'm
right.
sorry, I should answer some questions. Do you keep free-to-play and preferred accounts to stay abreast of the changes? Oh, Rikoji's, that's a great question. So I actually did about 50 to 60 hours on a free-to-play account to see how it feels like. Since then, not a lot has changed. And because of the way Steam works, it's very hard for me to swap between accounts, subscribed or free-to-play or whatever, you know, just in general. So I actually don't swap to that account anymore, mainly for that reason. However, they're very good at publishing what their changes are. And in addition, you guys are really good at sharing anything you've seen that might have not been in the notes. So I absolutely keep track of them still. but I don't need to like go test them myself most of the time, or they're very clearly visible in game already. So for example, Galactic Seasons, here's the free track, here's the subscribers track. I don't need to go on a free-to-play account. The info is right there, as it should be, you know? Travis says, where are the snowballs? I came for snowballs. Listen, bruh, I'm throwing them in the background. Look at my character dancing and throwing snowballs and getting presents from St. Nicholas all the way in Canada. Travis, how many hours of sunlight do you get right now? I found out Mr. Swtorista, Mr. My husband, has a vitamin D deficiency in California. Because he works inside and he works during the night now. Wookie XXXXL says, I came for hugs and I'm not complaining. Go hug a Wookie, scruffy looking nerf herder. I'm close to hitting 999 on all the glowing trees. Oh my god, I get so many of these suckers. Let me show you my inventory. Look, 65, 21, 23, 12. What the heck am I supposed to do with all of these? I don't even know. I just want the parcels. Because I need them because I'm trying to get the whole set so I can take a picture of it, right? Oh, guacamole. Kara says, interestingly enough, I've played through Kotefe and Kotet 7 times this year. So I'm guessing you probably enjoy it, right? I'm catching up here. Sob, I want my XP armor for next week. Do you not have it, JR? Did you not earn it back in the day? Mr. Soep says, to me, Shadow Revan starred my issue at the time, one common enemy, which takes away from the Jedi versus Sith dynamic that makes the time period awesome. Oh man, Soep, I love the whole Jedi versus Sith thing, especially when there's like 5 freaking million Sith and Jedi. I believe part of that, obviously going back to Revan, was because players love Revan, but Revan's story is more complex. Revan's story is also interesting because of how much Revan influenced those around them. Lady Revan for the win. However, that kind of narrative probably gets really complicated.
Half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf.
Thank you, Daffy. Hey, Dal. Hello, hello. Did you get your prize? Did I send it to you? I remember typing your name out yesterday. I think on Discord. But I think they do have to condense the story down, and that's why there's a common enemy and no longer this giant council of Sith and Jedi that are against each other and stuff like that. As much as I miss it. Travis says, LOL nice. From 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. right now is the sun, in the sunless void. Amazing. Amazing. JR says no. XP armor way before my time. Oh, JR! In my head, you've played for like 60 million. You've played for 10,000 years, and you will play no longer. Thomas asked earlier, besides SWTOR, what other games do you like to play? So I usually am playing 1 or 2 other games kind of in the background. I don't like stream or anything like that. I'm usually playing something with Mr. Swtorista, and occasionally I'm playing something with like friends or stuff like that. So with Mr. Swtorista right now, normally we like to play very story-focused games. Sometimes they're actually only one-player games, but they're story, so we kind of watch and discuss them together, almost like an interactive TV show, and I scream at him what choices to make, and he goes, wow! And then he runs around and does stuff, and we go, what? Together. It's very fun. Recently, we've been playing Baldur's Gate, and that's been a very obsessive game for me right now. I got very upset because he wouldn't play with me 2 days in a row because he wasn't getting his schedule in order. We had to have a big talk. I'm loving that game, and I loved its predecessors, Divinity and Divinity 2, and he loved Baldur's Gate predecessors 1 and 2. So it's like if we could pick a game to make a baby, Baldur's Gate 3 is that for sure. And then on the side, I'm personally playing Final Fantasy because I wanted to like. I really like Guild Wars 2. I think it's probably my second favorite MMO. I love the explorational aspects of it. I tried out ESO, didn't really click. WoW, bye-bye, Bobby Kotick. Maybe I'll play after that. And Final Fantasy was one I knew the least about, but people have been telling me it's the most similar to SWTOR in terms of community and the way the game is treated, because there's no modifications. You can't mod the game. Plugins or whatever you want to call them. And that's been pretty good. It took a while for the story to pick up, and by a while I mean 60 plus hours, which was not impressive, but the gameplay is really fun. I like the dungeons and the trials, the raids. Very neat, I like that very much. So yeah, that's what I've been playing right now. any intention of bringing some form of competitive PvP back. Hey there, Alex. I'm just a player, just so we're on the same page. So when I do have a little post about why did they remove ranked PvP that you might want to check out on my site. Just Google Swtorista ranked PvP removed. And I talk a little more about that and why I think they did it, and there some official posts from them and stuff like that collected together. So first off, what they did instead was they added PvP seasons, and as far as I can tell, I don't know if it'll remain that way. As far as I can tell, PvP seasons has been a success as more players are participating in PvP, even if less ranked players are participating. And so I think in their eyes, it's probably a win. It's also very sustainable compared to ranked PvP because they don't have to deal quite as harshly with people cheating and stuff like that. It's not such a pressing need to deal with these like player-related issues that are harder to resolve than things like bugs, you know? So it's a smaller time investment with probably a greater overall reward because more players can enjoy and get a hold of the PvP season stuff because it's casual based. Now, will they ever reintroduce competitive PvP with some type of scoreboard or some type of unique prizes that not everyone can get? I don't know. I would sure love to see something like a dueling system, like 1 versus 1. But players are just so incredibly apt to try and take advantage of any system in a way that makes it unfun and unfair for others to play. Like, if you're playing competitively in this game, for whatever reason, I can't talk about other games, the players are so apt to sabotage other people, to be absolute buttholes, to cheat, to win queue, to win trade, all that kind of stuff. And like, to the point that there's enough people doing that it makes it so unfun for other people. I don't know if they have the type of team that can do the things required to mitigate that. So for example, a game that is purely PvP, that is what their game is. And so even games like that can't fully fix those type of problems. SWTOR with his baby team, and I don't even think they have like a dedicated PvP team. They have people that work on PvP, but they're like systems people. I don't think they have the resources to make that kind of big win. But I hope they do in the future if they feel they have the resources. But I can only imagine it's not going to be at the cost of other stuff. I hope that was an okay answer. And this is coming from someone, to be clear, that didn't play ranked PvP, but I hoped at one point to try it in the future. There's a funny clip of me saying if I'll play ranked PvP in 2025. No, I will not, because it doesn't exist anymore. Robert wants to know, did they add AI to SWTOR? I play this one section daily for years. The NPCs stand there as we shoot each other. However, today they ran and hid behind rocks and trees before shooting. Spooked me out. Oh, I think they don't have like AI. They can't learn, but they do have some occasional patterns. And things like where you're standing, or what other people was nearby, or what companion you're using. All of those can affect, like, there's a bunch of random chance there where that can affect where they roll. Them running behind cover, I notice that sometimes too, and it freaks me out as well. Step says, one of the things I did enjoy during Guild Wars 2 is the mission is starting now for X amount of time. Join now. Do you think they will bring that to SWTOR? So Step, that's one of the two things that I love about Guild Wars 2 is, one, the exploration. They have really fun datacrons, I guess you could say, really fun explorational stuff. And two is, while you're running around, you can very easily join anyone else doing any type of quest, any type of world boss. You can literally just jump in, and there is lots of timed events, as Step mentioned. Guild Wars 2 did that right from the get-go, from the game's launch. SWTOR only very recently said that we can, or made it so that we can attack a world boss on the opposite faction and get credit, or get credit when we're not in a group, and even then it still doesn't fully function. So Step, I'm gonna go with a no, but I wish we could do events like that. At least now we can get like shared credit for tagging enemies most of the time. Endril, no, you misheard me. I have a funny a little video of me playing PvP and saying, okay, I'll play ranked PvP in 2025. It's just me being silly. Ranked PvP no longer exists. The game is for sure gonna be here in 2025. Like, there's no reason it wouldn't. 5 years from now, I don't know, I can't make a guess, but like 1.5 years from now, I don't know, bro. It's probably fine.
You stuck up,
Robin!
half-witted,
Hey!
scruffy-looking nerf herder!
Hey! Nice to see you, Roman. Thank you very much. Roman says, wee! Have a good one, Step. How do I stop this addiction from consuming my life? Asked Zico. You need to go outside to get more vitamin D in your life. But more realistic answer. One, make sure you're taking good care of yourself. You're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're going outside and receiving fresh air. If you need it, you're going to therapy if you can afford it. Those kind of things. Take care of yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, and then you have a less need to have an addiction to a game. That's like this short but very hard answer. The easier answer is you could always try setting a timeline. Say I can play X amount of days. Zico says I'm a student. Oh, okay, so your life sucks no matter what right now, right? Ha! Just joking. But Zico, especially if you're a student, you need to take that time to take care of yourself, whatever that means to you. Make sure you're going to spend time with other people too. Go outside, go for a walk, go right now. Get out of here. If you don't leave right now, I'm gonna ban you from my chat, so you go outside. So you go take a shower. Go take a shower, go get some breakfast, you know? Take care of yourself and you'll have a less need to video game all day. But yeah, being a student is really hard. Totally agree. I miss social points from combos, says Kirkadoodle. Aw! Gotta take him along for Group Finder. Take him in a group of 4 for Group Finder stuff. So they're not technically playing through the Group Finder. Playing SWTOR therapeutically. Let's go hop back over to YouTube. There's a lot of questions today, so give me some time to answer them all. Swtorista, what a lot look over is ranked would lock behind a sub, so every even sub money earned from it probably wasn't covering costs to run ranked. Yeah, and most ranked players, to be fair, they also usually play other parts of the game. Most ranked people that I knew at least were also playing like ops and stuff like that. 3-star, are you on vacation? You have been streaming a lot. Hey, Chris. No, Chris, I think you've got this backwards. I stream every weekday morning, so on my work days, before I start work, basically 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific. And I only recently started sharing it on YouTube as well. So it's not that I'm streaming more than normal, it's just that you actually get to see it. I've been doing this for like 2 or 3 years now. Kirkadoodle says we group and do lots, but we don't use Group Finder. So yeah, that's something you could start. If you have 4 people, you can go in the Group Finder, just check a flashpoint and let it run a random one. But yeah, they did that to encourage people to go in the Group Finder. I mean, I think that's a fine change, to be honest. They also changed it to be legacy-wide too, so when your friend does eventually get social 10, they'll have it for all their characters, which is nice. Oscar wants to Zico says, how do I stop this addiction? This game consumes me. Zico needed to know so badly that they asked in 2 different chats. Oscar said, after all these changes, is it possible to claim all achievements? I like to start this game soon and try to figure out if it's possible, and when will they close the servers? Hey Oscar, yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people have this worry that like they won't be able to play and enjoy the game before it closes. I think you're fine. I'll guarantee at least the next 2 years for you. After that, I don't know, that's up to you. But the amount of the game's not anywhere close to closing anytime soon. And I wouldn't say all the achievements are possible to get before the game goes away, but definitely all the stuff to actually enjoy, like all the stories. Like, look at how little, I have just over 50% achievements and I've been playing for over a decade. But yeah, there's a lot of a player, but sorry, I don't know how many people are playing. We don't have the numbers. If you want to try and Google some numbers, Oscar, you can Google SWTOR Steam stats, and that'll show a portion of the player base. It doesn't show the people who log in through the main original launcher. So let's see what else we got here. And I don't have any problems finding people for group activities. Hans says, Swtorista, you're still here, pumping and fighting. I found your channel ages ago and saw some great videos. Wish you all the best. Merry Christmas and an awesome 2024. Ah, Hans, thank you. Thank you for stopping by to share the nice words. Appreciate it. Yeah. If you want to check out SWTOR, the videos are there for you, up to date. Let me catch up. I saw a question I think I missed it about Galactic Seasons, but I think JR... Oh, Teammate says, I'm confused about mousecapades. After the initial quest is done, do I need to pick up another quest to keep doing them? Ah, I understand now. Got it. So, mousecapades is a singular objective that sometimes shows up during the weekly Galactic Seasons quest. However, that is totally different than the quests, the story quests that are related to Galactic Seasons. So the first one, Dark Tidings, you get at rank 1 and you claim it as a little item that you like eat, and it gives you a quest. The next quest comes at level 15, right? Yeah, level 15, and it's a new item. You claim it into your inventory, you eat the item, you right click it, and it gives you the next quest. And I think the last one is at like 45? Oh, 40. Chains of Freedom. So there's 3. I actually haven't done them all on this server yet, so I should probably go run them at some point. Chris says, I only watch your videos on YouTube after the fact. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah, we're here every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific weekdays. One Stay Care says, you have been playing for 12 years. Correct. Over a decade. Yeah, they literally just added a new server to the game, the new APAC Fresh Start server. They just transferred the game to 64-bit. It sounds like they're working on DirectX 12. They're talking about the next update. We just had an update a few days ago, like 2 weeks ago. Sorry, not a few days ago. Yeah, so I think we're fine. Hey there, Sonic Wolf. Patty wants to know, is there any point in getting max gear level? Currently 335, and I don't see the point in getting max, because I feel I can do everything I want now. Patty, you have the correct interpretation. No, there is no reason to get gear if you're not struggling at anything you're doing. The higher levels of gear score are for 2 different types of players. One is people taking on the hardest content in the game, so like Master Mode Operations. And maybe PvP. Go for 336. Optimize. And second, people who just like to chase gear scores. And third is players like me who think that getting a few extra stats might give them an edge, but it's not actually true. It mostly has to do with our skill level. Donkey says, if you feel like you can do anything you want, then you don't have to upgrade your gear. Yep. Yep. Is there a way I can have the same legacy with different characters on another server? Yes. If you transfer a... Sort of. If you transfer a character, it will make a copy of your legacy. Carrot, I would definitely recommend checking out the transfer guide on my website so you can get a little more info. Player make bar go up. Yeah. Yeah, PvP you want to shoot for optimized 336 now. Or is it 340 now? I think it's 336 now. Amuse says, I can't recall if you've tried SWTOR on Steam Deck. No, I haven't yet. I'd like to, but I don't have a Steam Deck. The Xbox controller vid was because I have an Xbox controller. I would like to borrow a Steam Deck at some point and try it on there, but if you go to reddit.com/r/SWTOR and search for Steam Deck, /r/SWTOR, I'll put the link for you, and search for Steam Deck, a bunch of players have actually posted their opinions, and everybody I've seen posting actually liked it on the Steam Deck, which is so weird to me. Yeah. And so Patty says I'm running mostly flashpoints and world bosses. Yep. 336 is almost overkill even for that, but it'll be fun. You can do a little more damage, you know? Malachi says, I feel like every question I've ever had about the game has been answered on your website. Right. Not every question, but lots are. But sometimes it can be hard to know what to look for, especially if you're newer to the game, or even if you're a veteran player. You're like, there's probably thousands of guides on my website. If you actually break it down, it can be hard to actually know what to look for your one little individual question, which is why I love answering questions on stream. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if Patty might like operations. So Patty, if you're going into story modes, you are great in your 335. You don't need to worry about gearing up more. But it does sound like something that you might enjoy if you're enjoying flashpoints and operations. Patty, I don't know if you're interested, but every Monday, possibly excluding Christmas and New Year's, so the next 2 coming up, but in the new year, the next Monday after that, every Monday we do operations, and we do it in a way that allows players to join, but it is on Starforge server, usually Republic side. Robert says, I spent 25 billion buying chrome, white, and gold dyes for my Force user avatars, along with a few 300 augments. Holy guacamole, that's a lot of cash. If you could play as a Gormak, would you? No! Wait, you can play SWTOR in a Steam Deck now? I think I was going to sell mine. Carol, before you sell it, can you mail it to me for like a week? And I'll send it back. Yes, apparently you can play SWTOR on a Steam Deck and people quite like it. I'm gonna put that link for reddit.com. Oh, that link didn't work. That link was missing a slash. I'll put the link for you, and same thing. Search for Steam Deck. And there's a lot of players who posted little videos of people playing on it, and they seem to like it. I can't imagine playing. No, I can totally imagine seeing myself playing it while I'm on a train or a bus or at work or something like that. Have fun. I hope you get to try it out and see how it goes, and you can add to the hordes of people saying what they think about it. Oh, you only have characters on Malgus, Patty? Ah, bummer. Jawa says, I got to grind Warzone's hard next week during double XP. Gotta get as much Valor as I can. I'm 1/4 of the way to Valor 93. Jawa! Are we in the same Valor level? Hang on. Oh, how do I find it? Hang on. I always forget that it moved. PvP. I am currently ranked 92, making my way towards 93, but oh my god, it's so slow. I've given up on it. The Starforge inflation changes have greatly helped. I remember earlier in the year when gold augments were over 1 billion, right? Isn't that crazy? The inflation, like watching it actually drop when you have like some numbers from last year is nuts. Yeah, Christmas is Monday. People, wrap your Christmas gifts. If you didn't get Christmas gifts, you're already a screw up. Just, it's fine. It's gonna be okay. Your family's gonna love you anyway. Can you delete a legacy name? No, but you can like rename it with a rename item. Jawa says, yeah, it's super slow. I will get that Valor 100 someday to 100% my Steam achievements. Jawa face, same. Dustin says, Star Wars Galaxies was the best. Okay, this is our weekly question. How many of you have played Star Wars Galaxies back in the day? Because every day that passes, the number will go down, right? Swtorista says, are you a fan of any of the other BioWare RPGs? So I really like Knights of the Old Republic. That's how I got here. I haven't played any of the other ones, I don't think. So there's Mass Effect. I really liked Mass Effect 1, but it wasn't really my style of game, but I loved the like universe, the setting. That was really cool, but I never went on to play 2, and I'm not a very skilled player at video games. So I think I was like dying early on, and I was getting really mad about it. I was like, I just want to go see the little Captain Shepard guy. If you do Drum and Cost at a low level, try to do that Revenite camp, by the way. Those aren't on the Solo Guide or Exarchs list. Christmas, fun, or bust. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, it looks like we have quite a few people over on Twitch. Dustin, who also really likes Star Wars Galaxies. Suicidal wants to know, how do you report bugs in game? Yeah, type /bug. Type /bug in game, and you should be able to report it. However, if you are experiencing a void, you may instead need to repair your game. Swtorista, repair game. There's a specific guide. Try googling this. Swtorista pink diamond? I know this is a stupid thing to search, but it'll teach you how to repair the game. It's not the same bug as you have, but it's a texture missing issue. I did notice someone else posting a void as well. So that might be a game issue too, but you can report it for sure. How much is the GTN price reduction actually removal of credits? And how much is the rampant undercutting because the new UI is so unfriendly for sellers? Sunjammer! I could argue with about this for like 10 hours. Undercutting is not a bad thing. Listen, just because you guys never played any other economy games doesn't mean undercutting is a bad thing. Almost like most other games exist by undercutting. You're not offering like a better service or product than the other person, so the only way that people should be buying is by price. However, to answer your specific question, the inflation reduction actually happened before the GTN update, and oh my god, the prices were reduced before then, before the GTN update, just so you are aware. The prices were reduced by half or 2/3 even before the GTN update, and the GTN update is also reducing inflation because items are getting more closely priced to what they are actually worth to the players. People are actually seeing very visibly what others are actually paying for them. So with the history, as well as the lowest price, you no longer ever accidentally get tricked. It's because there's no way for the early bird seller can't react to it. Well, explain a little more. I don't think I understand that sentence, sorry. But don't forget, this is the first iteration of the GTN revamp, so they may make it more user-friendly in the future, if not changing the mechanics. Kirkadoodle says, I'm so broke on the Apex server, I can't afford a fourth stronghold. There's been some interesting discussions. I was poking around on the Dev Tracker server, seeing people talk about how the price of unlocks compares on Shea Vizsla to, say, Starforge. The price is the same, but the value of the credits is different. Malachi says, after years, I've just started getting into GSF. I wonder is there a difference between group battle and battle options when starting? I don't know if I know what that means. Hang on. I think you just joined the queue, right? I don't think there's really any options, is there? My one time I'm against undercutting is when someone undercuts by a single credit on 1 million of credits item. Listen! Listen, you little stinkers! Listen! We're gonna go Neopets! We're gonna go medieval on your butt. We're gonna go Neopets. Neopets... Trading... Wizard? What was his name? The little adorable Jub guy. The shop wizard! Neopets... Shop... Wizard. This little guy, this guy tells you, listen here and stick it in your pointy ear. I'm gonna see if I can find Jub, that's right. So in Neopets, you would have your individual store that you could, we're not stinkers, we're little air fresheners. How many snowballs have I thrown today? I haven't thrown any in the last 25 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. In Neopets, which was at one point probably one of the biggest online economies, bigger than Bitcoin. Oh my god. You would have an individual store. Well, now you've done it. That's right. Listen here. You made me talk about Neopets. You're in trouble. You would have an individual store. Let's see. I wonder if I can find. Hang on. Let's go to the desktop real fast and see if I can. Hang on. It's a bit of a mess right now. We're done. We're done. You're so toast. Okay. Neopets. Shop. Can you even still add CSS to your shop? Oh my god. Okay, so you could. Oh my god, I could cry. This is so fun. Oh my gosh, you can still do it. And they have pictures of it. You could have your little. Oh, you could have your little store. And you could list your items for sale. And these are items just like an augment or a crafting material or whatever else, you know? They have a Christmas one. And you could also customize your shop. What is Neopets? Oh, okay, hang on. Neopets is an online game. It's a browser-based game. And it's mostly popular with nostalgic adults now. But back in the day, it was incredibly popular. Especially with a range of kids and teens, because it was in the browser. It wasn't something you had to download. Basically, you would get these little pets. You could dress them up or color them, but there's a lot of activities on the site that correlate well with MMORPG economies. So there's a whole market economy. There's a whole collection aspect. There were mini games, so think PvP, operations, flashpoints, whatever you want to call them, but it was within the browser and slightly different gameplay. There was no skill level needed to play. However, you could play at a high economy level, you know? Think playing the GTN. So, okay, backing up. You could have a little shop to sell your items in, and this was your individual store. However, how would someone find them? They would use the... You brought this on yourselves. You would use the Neopets Shop Wizard. The shop wizard, this little guy, he's so cute. It would. Oh, is there? Oh yeah, freaking hell yeah. Hang on. Super old shop wizard. Heck yeah. Okay, so a main code stone. This is the item. You could see the shop owners' names, you could see how many they had in stock, and you could see the price. By default, I think the prices were listed by price. And don't forget this main code stone, they're all the same item. There's no different level of service, there's no different level of like quality. You can't like a better tailored main code stone. And they were sorted by price. If something is all worth the same, it's all worth roughly 8,900, how would you choose which one to buy? Why would you not choose the cheaper one? Like, seriously. However, you could, in this game, technically go to that person's shop and buy them outright. Now, why can't you no longer buy things outright and choose a specific vendor? This is actually an anti-inflation method in a way that you might not know about. And that's actually going against credit selling. One of the ways that people would sell credits is that, like for real dollars, which is against the game's terms of service and does actively screw up the economy because there's people acting in bad faith around it. So what they would do is they would list an item, like a junk item, for 1 billion credits, the buyer, and then the seller would purchase the item on the GTN, and those credits would go into that person's inventory, but that item was never worth anything. No one was ever going to buy it for that value. So that's what they used to do. And how could they do that? They would just look on the GTN for the person that they're who's purchasing the credits with dollar reduce. But now I have to have a crystal crafted by Wookie Butts 420. Thought of that as an issue. That's really funny. But now you cannot see who is selling something. So it's a lot harder, as far as I can tell, for bad actors to list stuff like that. And probably easier for the devs to see that. So that's part one. Part two is a lot of people were doing a lot of shitty kind of scams, I guess you could say. They would list items. For a while, there wasn't even commas on the GTN, and they would list things, and because they were not automatically sorted by price, people would buy the expensive one thinking it was the cheap one. Endril says they can still do it if it's an item nobody sells. I was thinking that, Endril, but knowing that if it's an item nobody sells, wouldn't it be easy to notice when one of those sells? If someone sells a junk item for over X amount of money, the developers can see that a lot easier now. Nahaha. Why does the overlay map not change when I move to a new area? Is that a known bug? I don't know if it's a known bug, but it drives me freaking crazy, and I literally asked the devs outright if it's going to be fixed soon in the next update, because it's cramping my style. There you go. So there's the explanation. There's definitely some downsides. For example, it can be fun to ignore a certain person, or to purchase from like a friend if you see them on the list, or to not have a crystal made by Wookie Butts 420. For that specific issue, you can always ask someone to craft you something on general chat or trade chat if you want a fun person. I can only imagine Endril now is easier to find the person to ban them when they do stuff like that, you know? Yeah, I want that map fixed. Hit M twice to fix it. I don't want to. I just want it fixed. Years ago, I found a guildmate was buying Imperial Republic guard decos on the GTN for 10 times the price. They were on the fleet vendor, so I showed them the vendor instead. Oh, that's so sad. I think they actually removed the ability to list some of those items because of that. Wow, who just did that? Dustin. Dustin McCann, that's so nice of you. Dustin on YouTube gifted a membership to SW Stories, Edwin, Vector, Same, and Scott. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Merry Christmas. Dustin says Merry Life Day. Oh, I'm sorry. Happy Life Day. We're in Star Wars here, my bad. Yeah, I noticed a lot of people mark up that stuff from the vendors. Cracks me up. So yeah, that's a little bit about Neopets. Is that listing something by lowest price is literally like a 20-year-old thing. It's not anything new. And undercutting by 1 credit, look at this. $8.99, $8.97, $8.96, $8.95, $8.89. This is super normal. And just another additional explanation. When someone undercuts by 1 credit, this is actually beneficial to the seller. It's a little annoying to the individual seller because they'll have to eventually relist it or wait till it gets sold a little longer. However, it keeps the value of the price up. Look how many of, so each of these are individual listings by a player. So there's like 20 players here. If every player undercut this item by only 100 credits, the item would suddenly be worth so much less. The item would suddenly be worth like, what is it? Like 7,000 Neo points. So by the time the next person goes to sell it, they'll list it for 6,900 and the price will just keep going down. When you undercut by 1 credit, it leaves that price close to the original price of 8,900. Now, if you want a fast sale, undercut by a whole bunch, like this person at the top. This person at the top is selling for 8,000. As a knowledgeable market player, you could say, I'll buy that, I'll resell it for 8,400, and I'll make a profit of 200 without any extra work. So if you undercut by a lot, it's also good, because then the person can buy it and resell it. Ta-da! Sunjabber says, yes, those vendors control their own stores, so they can just match or undercut the players. It's not the same as SWTOR. What do you mean you can't match or undercut? Yeah, you do want to buy it. You just make less of a profit. You don't make the full 800. You can totally match someone's price on the GTN, right? You just look up the price of what it is. Daffy says, the 1 credit thing is normal. It just bugs me because I'm a cheapskate bargain hunter when buying, and I want the undercutting to be worth my while. I want a bigger discount. Right, that's a fair response. The fee. Yeah, you're a fee. Oh, you can't control the fee. I can't remember if Neopets had a fee for selling things. I don't think so, but they had a huge amount of credit sinks in different ways. Huge amount of credit sinks other places. Anytime you get an item, basically, you would have a credit fee. I made the mistake of trying to buy my own listing to see what would happen just to lose credits. Price going down is good for buyers, however. Like poor Jawa looking for good designs. Okay, so yeah, on the buyer side of things, obviously you want prices to be as low as humanly possible. However, if an item is not worth low credits, if people are looking at this purple hurricane, wow, look how much the price differences are. Look at that, it's very interesting. Goes from 90 credits all the way up to 1,000,000. What are these people doing? Are these people scamming? Are these people selling credits? Oh, it's only 1,000,000, so probably not. You accidentally bought your own listing one time instead of taking the item off the GTN? Right, that's one of the things that's a user interface thing that they could add in the future to make you not do stupid stuff like that. That's just, this is the first iteration of this. I spent a year trying to corner the eviscerating crystal market. I bought every crystal that was under 100k and resold at 200. Chance queues kept adding the number of crystals on the market. I finally gave up. That's right, Kirkerdoodle. Kirkerdoodle, you have to be very careful when playing in an economy where items can be literally generated out of thin air. Yeah, absolutely. People try and do that with things like baseball cards, right? There's only been 100 of the specific baseball card introduced. If I buy all of them, then no more will ever be made, and then I can sell them for whatever I want. Who's gonna stop me? Wasn't that a whole plot in Yu-Gi-Oh about the Blue Eyes White Dragon card? We're going full nerd today, I'm sorry. I just thought you couldn't buy your own stuff before. Why would you be allowed to now? Malachi, probably because it's the first iteration. Probably more of a unintended consequence. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh plot. So trying to corner the market in an economy where items can be created out of nowhere is kind of dumb. Like, don't do it. I'm sorry you didn't know that at the time, but apparently you eventually did figure it out. However, you can semi-corner the market for items like holiday items. Only temporarily, so you have to time it and you have to have some luck. But for example, if I really actually wanted to buy some of these for you guys to give them away the other day from the GTN so they'd have their timer finished, but I couldn't because there wasn't any listed. So if you guys like bought these now, and tried to sell them like early December before they go on sale again, you could make probably quite a bit of a profit. But at any time, Bioware could reintroduce it to the cartel market, and people could just buy it straight from there instead of from you. I've cornered the market on game socks. In-game socks? You guys want to see my socks? They're fuzzy. They have X's and hearts. They're soft. Do you have any soft socks? I will buy some from you right now. Or hiking socks. Yeah. Wow, Neopets and Yu-Gi-Oh! No kidding, right? What a day. Aren't those on the Life Day vendor parcels? Oh, yeah. So yeah, definitely don't buy these from the cartel market to resell. Well, I don't know. The ones that you buy from the vendor, you can't give to a friend, and that's actually why I wanted them. So that could be somewhere to corner the market for edge case stuff. Edge case stuff. I'm not like recommending this. I'm just saying like there are ways to kind of corner the market. Another way to kind of take advantage of limited time windows of opportunity is the daily sale. So for example, the Executioner Lightning Weapon Tuning is currently 900cc and it's only going to be available for that half price for a day. If you buy it now and you wait 2 days to sell it, there's probably going to be a whole bunch of people who have done the same thing. However, if you hold on to it for like a couple months, you might be able to sell it for more for later until it rolls around again on sale. But don't forget, this tuning is kind of perpetually available for sale here, just at a higher price. Now, the daily sale often also has items that for whatever reason are not regularly sold on the cartel market, so their availability is only based on whatever people pull out of cartel packs and how many people are actually opening cartel packs at the time. So that's another way you can kind of take advantage of a limited time market. I've also seen people definitely cornering the market when it comes to materials. And you can still do it now, even with the fee. You just have to do more math. So for example, I'm going to buy just a singular one of these crafting materials. It's going to cost me 90. We're just going to use it for a test. What? Partial purchase, 0 out of 1 items purchased. I don't understand. What's that mean? Did it not update? Oh, somebody bought them. I see. Somebody bought the cheaper ones. Claim my item. Can I purchase? Okay, so here's where the empirical knowledge comes in that I don't know myself, but players who play the GTN regularly might be starting to spreadsheet and stuff like that. The purchase button is broken if someone buys them. It's really annoying. Yeah, I thought it would just buy the next expensive one. Okay, so, ready? If I sell one, this is the numbers I don't know yet very well. If I sell one of these for 95, the buyer's tax is 6 credits, the unit price will be 89, and the listing fee is 250, and the total profit is 161. That's not necessarily the total. Oh, negative 161. Negative 161. So buying and reselling all of these, it probably wouldn't be worth it to do one. But what if I had like... What if I sold like 10? I'm gonna buy 10 just to try and see how that works. Claim. So I'm more familiar with the older style of GTN and how to play it and how to make money even with the fees. Because it had fees before, they were just kind of clearer. Yeah. Why can't I split my stack? Oh no, it's putting the item in the buy tab, but I want to... Darn it, that's rude. Very rude. The ratio is always 100 to 1 on the stream. Ah! Okay, sell. Wow. Now, at 95 credits each, and a buyer's tax of 6 credits each, the unit price will be 89 credits each of what I actually get to keep, and a singular listing fee of 250. The total profit is 640, and how much did I actually buy these for? Or the total profit, what I actually get back, not necessarily profit. I bought them for 95 credits each and I bought 10. So it cost me 950. And I'm only gonna make back 640. So I'm definitely going at a loss there if I'm selling them for what I bought them for. However, what if I bought all 56 that are listed at that low price? What if I did that? What if I did that and it cost me 5,320? And what if I bought that other low one too? 57? 57? 57? Wait, why does the one cost so much more? Hang on. 56? 5,320? What? I'm still kind of, I feel like I'm learning how this works still. And then there's one for $2.99. Purchase. So now I have at least temporarily, plus $2.99, temporarily driven this price up to $6.95. Ah. So let's go claim those items that I bought. This is like super rudimentary playing at the GTN. So I had brought 57, right? Why do I have one too many? Oh no, 58. No? Yeah? I'm gonna sell those. I'm not gonna sell them for 95. I'm going to look at the next lowest price, $6.95. I'm gonna sell them for $6.90 each. So it's $6.90. Oh, go away, Steam. $6.90 each. Listing fee of $40 each, a buyer's tax, or rather. My cost back for each is $6.50 minus $2.50 singular listing fee. I'll get $37,450 is what I'll get back out of this actual sale, and it only cost me about 6,000 credits. Boom! If I actually sell it. If I actually sell it, I just made like 30,000 credits for a couple seconds of work. Now, that's pretty small potatoes. That's if you sell them all, that's right. And if I don't sell them all, I lose like, what, 250 credits of the singular listing fee? If I don't, I lost 250 credits. That's right, but don't worry, I can sell them again in the future. Hey! JT, nice to see you! Yeah, we're talking about economy. But I don't see why I wouldn't sell them. Someone always can keep listing lower. But who knows? So maybe someone needs the craft. Now, imagine that, but on a much larger scale. Imagine that on an item that is perhaps a rare lightsaber. Let's see what we can find. See if we can find some deals. Okay, we got Darth Null's lightsaber. There's only 4 listed. One is a billion, and 2.25 billion. Nope, no deal there. What you're looking for is something drastically cheaper than the next lowest price that you think you can actually get away with. Oh, so I would kind of want to look in this mid-range, right? Ooh. But it gets so much harder now because people can see the previous listings, right? Ah, tricky. And so, nice. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Okay, so this Valen's lightsaber is listed for 25 million. Where it gets tricky is I wish you could see what the resale tax was before. So 25 mil. My price is 25 mil. I'm purchasing it. I'm claiming it. Probably gonna lose some credits, but this is to illustrate a topic, so it's fine, right? The next... Can I do this? Yeah. Now that I purchased that one, the next one up is 30 mil. So as long as my fees are less than 5 million, I make a profit if it actually sells, right? Sell. Sell, sell, sell. Okay, I want to... Why is it telling me to sell it for 40 million and 1 credits? I have no idea how the guesstimate works. Maybe it's based on the average. It's trying to get me to sell it in the middle. So let's try and sell it for 29,500. We're gonna give it enough of a discount so that people don't be like, "Ah, that person's undercutting my 1 credit, so I don't want to buy it." We're gonna list it for as long... let's just list it for 2 days, and if it winds up in my inventory later... how much does it cost more to list it for longer? Ah, wow, the tax is still a lot. I'll only be making about a 2 million profit. once the taxes come out. I'll make a tiny bit more if I list it for shorter time, but Ah, the suggested price is the median of sales and will lag by a little. Oh, cool. So there you go. I did manage to make 2 million credits if I do manage to sell that, but that's a general idea. The really big catch is that back in the day, you didn't have this, and you didn't have this history. You just kind of had to know it in your head. What does median mean? Oh my god. It's not the same as average, right? Median versus average. An average is the sum of the values divided by the number of values, so that's the one I'm more familiar with. But the median is the exact middle of a list of values. Which does... I don't know if it was the median. It might have been the average. Does anyone know if it's the average or the median? I always forget this one. I'm super excited because I'm seeing my friend JT in chat, and I play Dungeons and Dragons with him every week. But yeah, that's how you make money on the GTN. And if you see something drastically underpriced, if you're going to sell, don't be cranky. Just buy it and resell it as long as you think that there's enough of a gap that it will cover your listing fee, because that'll both drive up the price of your original ones as well as possibly making you a few extra credits along the way. Second, if you're a buyer and you see something extra cheap, just, you know, buy it and be like, boop, 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 boop. I often list things for a lot less than they're worth just because I want to make a quick sale. I want someone to buy it to resell it. I want someone to buy it as a good deal because I just want the credits. I often sell stuff for like 100 million credits less than the next highest one. And that's where someone else can take a deal, basically. What sort of person would be upset by undercutting of 1 credit? Sunjammer says, I believe Rodsword said it was the median in one of the GTN threads. Will you get an email saying you sold something? So I think you still get an email, which is weird, but then you have to like go to the box and get it, you know? Take notes, everyone. There will be a test at the end of the stream. There will not be. I hope these changes make crafting items and sell them viable, a way to make money long term. I miss crafting stims. Hey, Noble, what are you trading me? Are you trading me? Can I have some crafting materials? What do you want? You want some prototype hurricane crystals? I don't want your credits. Keep it as Sokatano. You're gonna need those. Give them to Stinky. Your character is perfect for being in charge of all the money. Oh my gosh, JT's pointing out the fact that we're playing the Acquisitions Incorporated campaign style in our game, and my character is the hoards person. He's the money person. He's also a jeweler and a thief. Ha ha ha. Mathorista. Dustin had a question earlier. They asked, if it is from the cartel market versus the vendor, does it change how it's bound? So I think that was in reference to the snowball baby, right? Sorry, I was yakking too much about math. I forgot to actually read the comments. Snowfall and Giska. So yes, in this case specifically, yes. The ones from the snow life day vendor, they are bound to your character or bound to your legacy. You cannot give them to somebody else. This guy, yes. This guy is not bound. He's technically... he's bind on pickup. Excuse me? I'm so glad I didn't buy any of these to give away. Why are these bind on pickup? Are these bind on pickup? Wow! Just these guys. Is there any other life day items? This is bind on equip. Why is the baby? Just broke my brain. Is there any other like life day rewards that are that are bind on pickup? That's so bizarre. Like literally no items in the cartel market are bind on. Oh, this is binds on pickup too. Weird. Weird babies. Interesting. Okay. Lesson learned. Apparently I'm wrong. Hey there, Istvan. So wrong. Coming from other MMOs, does the ability rotation matter? Hey there, Spooky. Is there any MMOs that it doesn't matter? I'm going to show you something cool. If you're just getting into learning your class guides, feel free to check this out. I've just linked it for you in chat. It's the SWTOR basic class guides and we'll get you started with a rotation. JT says that prevents them from being put on the GTN. Good, but yet bad because I cannot give them away. Yeah. What? Cranky Turista. Cranky Turista. I just want to give little babies to friends. So they do have, JT, it's really interesting. They do have some type of flag. I don't quite know what to call it. It's a check in the background. There are certain items that you can give to other people. You can trade, but you can't list on the GTN. Basically, it's called a container. What container can this item be placed into? Those items are like some of the rarest decorations from Operations. I wish they would just do that. Maybe they should just put it bind on pickup to make it clearer, right? Could they be bind on pickup because you can get them from the Life Day vendor? I think that's exactly it, Castillo. I think they did it on purpose. But I just want to give babies to friends. That's right, Sunjammer. I'm so sad. JT, I'll show you. Let me show you something really fast. Let me see if I can find it. Is my computer loading good? Are we go? Yeah. You guys ready? This is why I wanted the babies to give to friends. Look at this! How cute is this? I had to use, like... I had to give people cartel coin codes that I gotten from Jackie that I wanted to use for, like, proper giveaways so that they could go buy their own. Isn't that cute, though? It was adorable. It's for the Life Day video. I did do my singing last night, and so I'll make my Life Day video tomorrow. I was so happy. I was getting so anxious about singing. One of the reasons I do it is to not take myself seriously, but every time I get mad, I'm like, I can't hold a note. My voice is cracking. My voice is dying. I was like, I have a lump in my throat because I'm worried. But then eventually I just kept singing, and eventually it went away, and I was happy, and I was like, la toddy toddy da. Life Day video when? I'm hoping Saturday. What time is it? It's time for me to go. I don't have the patience to hug 5,000 Wookiees. Mr. Old School, me neither. I don't as well. Is the 3x Commander Compendium for 1,500 cartel coins worth it? I think that one's on sale right now, right? Personally, I don't think so. Personally, I would vote no, mainly because you can get a similar version via credits/crafting. There is one that you can get in the Stronghold section of the fleet. I forget what it's called. Is it still called a Commander's Compendium? Or a Companion Compendium or stuff like that? What time is it? Summertime. Is there any in-game ways to relocate the chat window? Yeah, absolutely. Where is my chat window right now? Here it is. You click and drag the main tab. There's a chance that you may have draggable windows off. If you go Escape, Interface Editor, Enable Movable Secondary Window. If you can't drag it, that's what you're missing. 12th anniversary video is awesome. Oh no! Oh no, we gotta go! We screwed up, didn't we? What time is it? It's time for my video to come out. Let's go. Oh man. Oh, we're done. It's so cranky. We're gonna go, right now. We're ending stream immediately. We're not even gonna go raid somebody. We're gonna go, I'm gonna have a heart attack. We're gonna go watch a YouTube video together. How do we do it? Oh, I can't remember. It's like, redirect. Have a good one, you guys. We're gonna go watch the new video. 12th anniversary now. And we're gonna end the stream. Bye.